The press has come up with a new epithet for Donald Trump, cyberbully. It's right here in the paper. Here's the New York Times front page. Trump as cyberbully in chief? New Twitter attack draws fire. Of course, you round up critics who say Trump is being a bully, a cyberbully. It's so 21st century. This all has to do with a fight that he got into with a guy named Chuck Jones, who's the president of a steelworkers union in Indiana. This relates to the Carrier air conditioner deal. Trump, of course, great symbolic triumph, and I think the media have given him credit for this, for working out a deal with the company that was going to move an extra 1,100 jobs to Mexico. Instead, there were tax breaks. Company will stay. So this guy, Chuck Jones, fires at Donald Trump. First, he gives an interview to the Washington Post in which he says, and I'm not going to clean this up, Trump lied his ass off about the number of jobs that would be saved. And it gets into the weeds of how many jobs will be converted to research, and some are, in other words, that not as many jobs are going to be saved by a few hundred as Trump contends, according to Chuck Jones. Then he goes on CNN and kind of repeats the charge. Well, Trump, who, as we know, watches a lot of cable TV, sees this on CNN. Minutes later, tweets an attack on Chuck Jones, saying, you know, if the guy did a better job for the union, maybe more jobs would be saved. And then this becomes a whole kerfuffle, and Chuck Jones is brought back by CNN, and he responds. And now we have the spectacle of all these news organizations saying, why is Donald Trump picking a fight with some union guy that nobody's ever heard of? Now, that's a fair question, except that Trump didn't pick the fight. And as we know, he is a counterpuncher. And if he is attacked, he attacks back. Now, this comes on the heels of a whole series of Twitter attacks. There was the one about Boeing and the Air Force One contract. Cancel the order, says the president-elect. There was another attack on another Indiana company, not the parent company of Carrier, for saying or threatening it's going to move all of its jobs to Mexico. And now Chuck Jones. So I think it is about time that all of the press got accustomed to the fact that Trump is a street fighter. And this is the way. It is not going to be some new Donald Trump when he takes the oath of office on January 20th. This method of calling out the press, calling out adversaries, using Twitter to beat up on companies and media organizations and individuals by name, he may tone it down a bit. He may slow it down a bit. Maybe he'll be busy executive producing Celebrity Apprentice, which it was just announced will be in addition to his duties as President of the United States. I don't have any great problem with that. But he's going to continue this style because this is how he got elected. We should be used to it by now. Now, there is an argument that is it unpresidential? Is he punching down? The power of the words, the megaphone that the President of the United States has, when he uses that through Twitter, 16 million followers, amplified by the media, to go after somebody by name, somebody particularly who was previously obscure, that can then lead to a lot of online abuse, even death threats. The Washington Post had a long story. This was more than a year ago. An 18-year-old girl, college student, asked a somewhat critical question of Trump at a town hall meeting. He later tweeted that she was arrogant. This is a year later. She says she's still getting all kinds of abuse online. And, you know, college student, I'm not so sure that was a great idea. But if Chuck Jones beats up on the president-elect, he says, I thank him for saving the jobs, but he didn't save as many jobs as he claimed to have saved. And Trump responds, he does have a right to respond. In the old days, he might respond at a rally or an interview. Now he does it on Twitter. Does that make him a cyberbully? Well, maybe you should talk to Melania. She wants less bullying online, but I don't think cyberbully is exactly the right term when somebody punches you and you hit back.